Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Jada Bell podcast, you guys. I'm so excited. I know you guys are missing me because I am taking a little bit of break from social media, so I'm sure when I upload this, you guys are like, where have you been? But I'm here, you guys. I'm doing like a little debrief, but I'm recording this episode right now as you speak, as I'm taking my little fast, with the wonderful Jessie on Fire and his wonderful wife, Gabi. I'm really excited to have a married couple on my podcast episode. So I don't know if you guys kind of want to introduce your guys' selves, what your channel's really for, what you guys usually focus on there.
Sure. Yeah, my channel's Jessie on Fire. I basically cover everything. But recently I've been covering a lot of like Charlie Kirk related stuff just since it happened because, you know, you kind of get driven in the direction of what people want to watch. But I cover culture, I cover combat sports, anything like that. And I just make it entertaining as much as I can. And then we do a show together as well.
Yeah. And what's the show called again?
Play with Matches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. So how is it like kind of joining him in reacting to stuff?
Yeah, it's fun. My background, well, I guess like my start in social media was kind of more short form content, Instagram. So moving into long form content has been a bit of a transition, but super fun. I mean, he's so charismatic on camera. I'll be honest, he carries basically the whole show. I'm just kind of there for some commentary and to bring like a woman's touch and like, I don't know, vibe to the show.
Perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
People who watch it are like, oh, I like watching this because like you could tell Jesse's actually like a human being.
Yeah, I humanize him.
I actually was like kind of like watching through a little bit of your guys' content, and you're like, well, he has ADHD brain, but then you like help finish his like thoughts.
Yes.
And I loved that relationship dynamic because he's like, what was I thinking about? And she's like, I got you. This is
he
what
goes
he was
off on
trying
tangents.
to say.
Let's come back, circle back, and finish that thought, and then we'll go to the next.
Yeah. Some people love it, and others are like, this is not my channel, dude. I can't deal with the tangents. It's like, I'll always bring it back eventually, but...
Yeah. I'm like that too, though. Like, I will start thinking of a million different things, which is why I always have, like, notes or something in front of me to just have a focus because... some people though that come on that I interview, I mean their brains are so like massive, like they just have so much information in there.
Right.
So when they're talking, I'm like thinking of like 30 different questions, like new questions that I can ask. Like what? Okay, so I'm really excited. So originally the questions I actually have listed that I was going to ask them is on the Charlie Kirk stuff and the political stuff. But what's interesting, and I do want to know you guys' thoughts, is like within the last 3 days, I was really feeling like it's so heavy. And like the political stuff is so much. And I'm kind of like spiraling into it too much to where I'm like, it's not even my main calling and my main focus. And actually, I kind of love that we decided literally 2 seconds ago, you guys, to talk more about relationships and stuff. So what is your guys' thoughts? Because I love that. I love that you guys are, you know, I don't know how you guys are feeling with everything that's going on too, if you guys are feeling similar thoughts.
No, it feels heavy. It feels like now how much time has gone by, it's settling in differently for different people. And then, of course, you have all the different conspiracies of what might have happened, what didn't happen, who was involved, who wasn't involved. I mean, you can get lost in it like all day long, and it's heavy. It's a lot.
The trail is really heavy because there's a lot of people that were involved that are not in bracelets. So it's like, I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask about this because like I've been looking at a lot of stuff the last like few days, but I will just say that like I would say like since it happened, the thing that I found the most shocking and the thing that I think is most important for people to examine is like left-wing radicals murdering a prominent, right-wing kind of personality is a huge tragedy, but not necessarily like shocking. What I found shocking was the widespread reaction where people celebrated it, and I was like, like when I saw. So one of the videos that I did early on that really blew up was when the clip of TMZ when they cheered, like when it first got announced that Charlie had actually died, and there was like a whole room of people at TMZ, and in the background they cheered like when they found out he was dead, and man, dude, that was
hard.
It puts hate in your heart.
I didn't believe it at first. It took me.
She's like, no way.
I was like,
I'm
that's
like,
impossible.
trust me.
It's impossible.
That
the
is
whole group of people
100%
feel like,
what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then you get online and it's everywhere. They're like, well, of course we're cheering. Like, he's a racist, bigot, transphobic, homophobe. And you're all, what are you basing that on?
Yeah.
Like, you read that somewhere? And then when I started reading some of the articles that came out about him, you know, following, I'm like, this is just nothing but like, do you swear on here? People swear or no?
You know what? You can. I don't, because I'm like a Christian content creator, but I let people be who they are.
No,
so.
I can do it without it. That's
Okay.
just this is a topic
angry,
where it's
other people are
gonna
angry
it's
too.
gonna come. Like, you know, you just read it and you're like, this is insane. Like, these are absolute 100% outright lies. Like, you had AOC get up in front of Congress and she's reading off of a script. Like, this is not even her talking, but she goes up, and this is when they were trying to do, I can't remember, the congressional whatever. And she's like, I just want to make sure that everybody knows who this man actually was. And everybody note that he publicly said that that the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, which gave black people the right to vote in this country. And I want that. I'm like, no way. And so, you know, I looked it up, and it was like, okay, what he said was about the way that the Civil Rights Act had been applied in the last few years related to, you know, trans and LGBT stuff, whatever. Completely absurd to say. He's dead.
Words
like, he
completely
died.
out of context.
Yeah.
Like, he just got murdered.
Yeah.
And you went in front of Congress and completely intentionally misrepresented what his beliefs were. Like, he made a completely coherent argument that what he said, that has nothing to do with being racist, homophobic, nothing. He's talking about the legal application of the Civil Rights Act, and you went up in front of the entire world and painted a guy who just got shot in front of the entire world as someone who believed that black people should not have the right to vote in America. Like, that is evil, dude. Like, I don't know how else to like characterize it. That's an evil thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I love how you said it, because he can't even defend himself.
Exactly.
And then you guys are trying to paint this image. And I think, like, I agree with you. Like, it was like, when you kind of said it just does nothing but put hate in your heart, because I've been so angry since the day he passed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it was the reactions of everybody else. And when I made a video of me, I was, like, in tears. Like, I was crying when my mom was like, oh, he got shot and stuff like that. I was actually in a counseling session with a couple, and we started all praying together and everything. And I was like, he's going to be fine. Like, he's going to be fine. Like, he's going to have a crazy testimony when he gets out of it. And as soon as I got off the call, I go on Instagram and it says that he passed. And I was, like, in tears. And people were, like, in my DMs, because I posted on my story, they were in my DMs, like, making fun of me for crying. And then I've never heard of this racial slur called a coon. They called me a coon, which I was like, what is that?
I've never heard that either.
I keep getting
I've
called
heard it.
that
I don't
all
know
the
what
time.
it means. Like,
It means raccoon, and it was, I guess, I looked this up. It's one of the most racist things you can call a black person, and I never even knew that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there was this, like, whole history thing on it of, you know, them calling black people those things. Like, anyways, my point is, black people were calling me this. It was the liberal, like, black people calling me a racist slur, but you're calling him a racist. Who's racist?
Exactly.
Like, who's racist here?
Wow.
And so I was getting not just angry for the left, like, just having nothing but anger in my heart for them, but even, like, the black community, because they're wanting you to vote based off of, like, loyalty to your tribe. But I was like, no, I seen a good man.
Yeah.
Like, that just stated his opinions. And so anyways, I kind of had to go on a fast, because I've just been seeing more and more and more and more. And my mind's starting to see left and right. And, like, that's it.
That is something that it's like, I do my best to try to bridge that gap when I can. But now I don't even really see it as like a left and right issue. It's just like, these people are gutter trash. Like, and they happen to, at this point, a very specific subset of the left. Like, you know, like, not like just Democrats, but like people who, you know, like when the floods happened in Texas, and you have people going online and gloating about that. It's like, you are a psychopath. Like, they're 6-year-old girls.
It's just like they've been so brainwashed to hate the right so much that we've been completely dehumanized, which is insane. I mean, they think less of the right than they do of animals, to the point where they don't care about any loss of human life. Everything's justified because we're not even human anymore.
Yeah.
Which is the scariest part.
That's
to
the
me.
thing. Like those ones, like the girls, someone would have said that in the room, I'd have heard them, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'd have
Yeah.
heard them for real.
Yeah.
Like, and I think I'm pretty good at controlling myself in those situations. But if someone would have made one of those comments in person when those girls got swept out, I'd have heard them for sure.
Yeah.
And
Having kids that age, yeah.
exactly. Like you think about, because that you frame it through that lens where you're like we had just that week before been talking about sending our 7, I guess she was 7 at the time, right? Like now she's 8, but she was 7 at the time. 7 and 9-year-old to one of those camps.
Wow.
No, it was Giselle that wanted to go.
Yeah, but whatever. Like
But
we
still,
had been talking
yeah.
about them going to those to a sleepaway camp, whatever. And then it was just like when that happened, and
I was like, nope, sorry.
yeah. But I mean, it's just you think about. I actually don't even want to think about it, but like, it's. I can understand people getting, kind of brainwashed by a constant bombardment of mainstream media that lies about things, but there's a threshold where, okay, I give you no quarter for that anymore. Like you're gloating and making fun of little girls who drowned, like,
Yeah.
or you're making fun of this guy who got shot and killed in front of the world, sitting there just having discussions with people on a college campus. Like
Having a conversation.
if you are there, like, we're done now, and it's like, and the other thing too about that day was so I was actually live streaming. So when he got shot, I was live streaming. And so I was I started live streaming when he got shot. And so I was actually live when I saw the video, and like knew he was dead for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavy, man.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I feel like I'm gonna cry. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's just like nothing but in your throat, and it's like I want to just keep fighting against all of these people. Like I realize it's getting bad when I have friends who don't even vote. They're not even into politics. I'm getting in full blown out arguments with them. To be honest with you, I want them to feel stupid. Like in my heart, I want you to feel dumb. So like I'm pinning you against the corner to make you like regret what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I knew like I'm angry because I've had multiple friends who said, well, we don't know if he's a man of God. And I said, that's your reaction to him dying? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a Christian, and I'm just like, we do Bible study together, and you have the audacity to see that, and in your heart you were like, well, I don't know, some of the things that are out there, we don't know if he's a Christian. That doesn't even matter. It shouldn't even matter.
Yeah. It's a human life.
Like, it's a human life. Like, regardless, we know people that are getting massacred in Nigeria. We don't know how they live their lives, but regardless, it's sad. They're dying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We don't question if they're a Christian or not. We just know that they're being shot and executed for no reason, and we know that if they're labeling them as Christians and they had some type of faith in that, that's all that matters. So with Charlie Kirk, he's a man that went on and he literally said, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and he said these things regardless if you agree with how he lived your life. Let's open the floodgates of how you lived yours. Let's do that. And then if you got shot, people online asking if you're a Christian or not, if we should feel bad for you.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. That whole concept is ridiculous. So when I noticed that like I was getting so angry and I had no tolerance anymore for even my own friendships, and I wanted to even distance myself from them because I'm just starting to see you as full of hate. If you could look at that and feel nothing in your heart, I don't even want to be associated with you now.
That's it.
That's how I'm
That's it.
getting.
Or just, as you said, stupid. You're like, I don't want to associate with stupidity.
Yeah.
Because most of what they think and believe and they're sharing as these grounds for why we shouldn't care about him, it's not real. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's based
Exactly.
in just misrepresentation of like sound bites of what he had said and taken it completely out of context. It's like, you're really that dumb? You're that gullible?
Yeah.
And it's like you just shared an opinion that a human life didn't matter, and in that case that you just said, you're like, well, we don't even know whatever, and you're like, okay, but you just verbalized that opinion, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're like that his life like might not matter. It's like, right, he's like one of the most public people in the world. You can go watch every single video he's done, and you are that lazy and stupid that you would say that out loud instead of going and watching what he said. Like you're that flippant about your words that you would say that about a person verbally without even going and checking the tape. Why don't you go take 20 minutes and go watch his tapes and see if you're on the wrong side or the right side? Because if you're on the wrong side, you understand you're shitting on a guy that I can't, dude.
Yeah.
I'd say I can't, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, you guys are perfect people to like have on to like kind of talk about it because I like that you guys are feeling the heaviness as well of like it's getting too deep. I feel like a lot of people, you know what I think? I'm sorry, this is where I have
No,
the
you're
brain,
good.
right?
No, yeah.
I'm good with
you
that.
You either woke up and realized how, like, where our world is at today with this happening. So what you just said, the wrong side or the right side, it really showed who's on the wrong side or the right side. For sure. And I even think that it's very spiritual to me, because even the fact that we're sitting here and we're almost like all coming to the same awakening as it's getting too heavy now.
Yeah.
Like, the longer it goes, the more I feel like I don't like where my heart is at for these people. The hardest thing, I sat there and I was watching a video of this girl, like, walking past these people sitting on, like, this table that are doing what Charlie was doing, and she was walking by mimicking the thing.
Yeah. I've seen them do that.
And when I sat there and I looked at her, like, I asked myself, can I see that person could be saved by God or a child of God? And my response is no, like, burn. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's when I knew my heart posture isn't right, and I'm actually just becoming as evil, like, twisted in my heart. And I'm just being really honest, because I was getting to that point. I'm just becoming nothing but dumb. Like, I'm brewing hatred, and I don't ever want to be able to see somebody like that and them die in the same way and cheer on that. But my heart posture is becoming like that. And so I just, I'm glad we were able to talk about this and be honest with, people about how the effects of all of this, what it did.
It's hard not to. I say that to him all the time when we're filming, because, he's a passionate person and gets, overly excited about some things. But he'll say some things like, I wish something would happen to these people. I'm like, no, we can't do that. We can't go there. We can't, because that puts us, exactly like you said, in the same boat, in the same category. And I refuse to live there.
The thing is that it's not the same, though, because I am literally watching what they did where they are not. They're just like, oh, I read this dumb thing, and so, like, I'm down with them, like, whatever. It's like, I literally I am watching you do this thing. And, like, so the other thing, too, is, like, this is a cultural issue that there is a clear and present delineation on, which is the guy in Delaware is running for attorney general, and that came out with those text messages that he's like, where he said he's going to murder his. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No. I started trying to stay away.
Oh,
no.
man.
Okay, what's going on?
Horrifying.
Oh man, you know what an attorney general does, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
So it's a top law enforcement.
They're a big deal.
It's the
Yeah.
It's like the number one lawyer prosecutor in each state. Like, they have, besides the governor, they're the second most powerful person in the state. The guy who's running for attorney general in Virginia is this guy named Jay Jones, and he's obviously a Democrat, and he had a text message thread that got leaked by another Democrat who was so, like, appalled that he was, like, leading the race. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't allow this to happen. This is who this guy really is. And the text thread is him talking about how, like, they had gone to another Democrat's funeral, and he had been complaining about, like, oh, the Republicans are pretending that they care about him, whatever. And she's like, I mean, they always say nice things about him. He's like, if they died before me, I would go to their funeral and piss on their graves.
Wow.
He also said that he said, whoever, I can't remember the guy, I'm going to call him Gilbert because I can't remember his name, but it's like the Speaker of the House is who he's talking about. He's like, if you gave me 2 bullets and it's Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot, Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. And she's like, dude. And, like, she's giving him no feedback at all that she wants to have this conversation. And she's like, don't say that. She's like, I don't like when you talk like that. He's like, any 2 people in the world, the most evil people ever, Gilbert gets both bullets every time. She ends up, they end up getting, like, they move to a phone call, and then the text message thread comes back because she had hung up on him because he said that he wished that Gilbert's wife would have her own children die in her arms. Yeah. And so she hung up on him. And then so he keeps texting, right? And he's like, what? I'm just asking questions. You were not asking questions. You said that you wish to see his wife's children die in her arms. And he's like, that's the only way these people will change on policy. Like, he literally...
Is that not, like, fascism and stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's fascism, right?
Yeah.
They keep calling the right fascist,
but
what, like, if you have to kill somebody in order to get them to
change on
advisory.
policy.
Change there, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's-
he doubles, triples, and it continued from there. So that comes out, right? Charlie Kirk got murdered 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And this guy is running for the second highest office in a major state. And as much as you're like, okay, that guy needs to go, you're like, Democrats are gonna like the Democrats are gonna swear this off, right? Like they're gonna pull their endorsement. Every single Democrat continued to endorse him. Not one Democrat
After all
pulled their
that went
endorsement.
public,
He's
yeah.
he's running neck and neck with the guy. That's what I'm saying. And I did videos on this. I'm like, do you understand? Do you
You're
understand
condoning
the
it.
position that you're
Yeah.
putting the country in? Like, do you understand what happens if that guy wins? And one of these because like the left, they're all violent psychos, but they're just kind of like nerdy people who kind of might do it, but they're whatever. You understand what happens on the far right over here? Like these handful of people over here that like if they decide that this guy's serious about killing Republican children, I'm like, you have to pull your endorsements from this guy. And they just, I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. It's like that would not happen on this side under any circumstance. If some Republican candidate said that about the other person's children, there is no Republican that would support them under any circumstance.
Right.
And the DNC, they're all, no, we're still just
He's
going
our
with
guy.
him. He's our guy. You're like, okay, so I mean, how else do you take that? The party that's okay with the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they're like morphing into.
Yeah. It's getting scary.
It's getting scary, and then that's why, like, there's just been such a shift with the Charlie Kirk thing because it's either they're getting deeper and deeper into that, or you have come to the light. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
many people that even said, I'm not going to be a Democrat anymore, I don't want to be involved with them, that was their last real good, like, shift to see how demonic this is over here,
Yeah.
right? And so anybody that still is in that place, it almost feels like you're almost too far gone. It's only mentally ill. If people still there at this point, and true people that are have the ability to kill, which, to be honest with you, if you look at the liberal agenda, I mean, they've always been fighting for the right to like murder because they're really big on abortion.
Yeah.
So is it that surprising, you know? Like they already didn't have much empathy for an unborn and don't see them as anything but a parasite. So then when this is all coming out, it's like, well, that really showing what it's been indoctrinating in you for a while. But where do you guys see the country kind of going from this point on since that?
I mean, the thing is that Trump is the most lightning rod political figure of the last ever. And that's exactly why they are where they are, is because as much as Trump is Trump, he's also been the main political focus since 2015. Like, that does not happen. Like 10 straight years, because they cheated in 2020, my opinion, you know, and so like
That's my opinion.
my opinion, but like, I mean, even if they didn't, like him losing in 2020, like he'd be gone now, dude. Like if you would have just let him win, he'd have been gone.
Yeah.
Right now, you
Buy
didn't let
yourself
him
another
win.
4 years.
You did, you know, whatever you guys had going on during the Biden thing, and now he won. I mean, they were doing a bunch of stuff to kind of rig the deck because the regular Americans are not down with their agenda. So they're like, we'll just import millions of people and all that stuff, you know, whatever they're doing. But then now you get Trump back, and now you have, after 8 full years, you get Trump as a lame duck president who doesn't care, never has to win another election. And he's like, how about I demolition the White House? How would you guys like
Put
that?
in a ballroom.
Yeah. How about I demo the White House? How about he's doing whatever he wants?
He's a troll.
He's doing whatever he wants, dude. Like he's just and so like they already hate. Yeah, they already hate. Did you see what he did with the website, the White House website?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's
Look
so
that
funny.
up, dude.
He is so
He's
funny.
like, they just did this yesterday because everybody was complaining about the White House remodel. And so on the official White House
You put under
website, I
construction?
have to look it up. Hang on. Because it's like, I won't even do justice how
I
crazy it
wanna
is what he
know.
did. But it's
It's
hilarious.
like he likes to
likes to
piss off
stir the pot.
Yes.
Yeah, he likes to piss off the liberals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just get, look at how evil he is. He's Hitler. Because
The-
look what he's doing.
The
And
AI
it's like-
video he did of the No Kings protest with
Oh, yeah.
the bombers.
Did you see that or were you not paying attention?
No. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They took that very
Very
offensively.
seriously.
Yeah, they did.
It's like,
they're
that's
like, look at what he wants to do to us.
Yeah. And you're like, you guys
Like,
you
he's
guys
like
are
a 5-year-old.
literally, you guys are all out in the street with nothing but signs that are like, he's Hitler, he's evil. And he made a little AI thing. And you guys are like, hey, let's compare. You know what I mean? Like he made a joke, you guys got the entire, like the entire country riled up. Like the No Kings thing is so dumb, man. It was like, it was great for me though, because I got some really good,
wonderful content.
I had my audience dying laughing. I was joking for a straight hour on it.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I was looking to see if I could find what you're talking about.
I found it.
What is it?
Okay, hang on. So it's here we go. Okay, so on the White House website, it says major events timeline. Okay, so he put this up, and it's like in 2000 tennis pavilion, First Lady Melania Trump oversaw privately funded construction. 2023 cocaine discovered. he's got Hunter Biden on there. Secret Service discovered a small Ziploc plastic bag containing cocaine in the West Wing interest. And then 2023 Trans Day of Visibility. He's got the picture like when Biden had all them and they were all taking their shirts off at the White House.
Gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
he is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, he is so funny.
Yeah.
All the videos people keep putting out, like, he's old and doesn't know what he's talking about and his brain's slowing down. I'm like, are you watching the same person?
Yeah.
He's objectively hilarious.
He's funny, man.
I kind of make comments to even the people that have, like, my own friends, and I was having discussions with them. I was like, I feel like, I asked them this. I said, do you have a father in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people that vote, I feel like Democrat, they didn't have good fathers in their life, because Trump reminds me of my grandpa.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just a jokester,
Yeah.
like just very serious of like, this, you guys are crazy. I'm not pressed about you. Or just like a father figure, like a real masculine figure. And it's like,
I feel the same way.
I feel like they don't know what masculinity is. I think we have a masculinity crisis, which is what Charlie Kirk would talk about
Amen
as
to that.
well.
Yeah.
And when you see these people, how highly emotional they are and stuff, they can't see past their emotions, what their emotions are telling you. And I'm like, yeah, you guys must have not had a dad.
It's also a generation that was told that your emotions and your feelings are the most important thing in the world. So that's a whole other.
Yeah, we could talk about how we parent our kids all
We
day.
can actually start now rolling into the mental health part of everything, because that's what I talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because the biggest part of my social media was going viral for talking about the personality disorders. But when I went and they said, oh, you're diagnosed with BPD and paranoid schizophrenia, she was like, you can't be healed from it. It was a woman psychologist.
Oh, heck no.
And she said, we have to put you on medication. I said, okay, well, you're telling me, though, from the sessions that we've had prior, that this was, like, trained up in me from my parent having this stuff, right? So if it was just, like, more taught, so for me, why can't it do it? And she was like, no, that's not how it works. So I left her and I went to a male psychologist, completely different. I said, do I need to be on medication? He said, no, you just need to stop going from 1 to 100.
Awesome.
And I was like, I like this, you know? And so I went towards male leadership, a male psychologist and everything, who's been working with prisoners for, 2 decades. Mm-hmm. And he was working with some real killers and stuff. And he was just like, no, you just need to get your emotions in check and accountability, and there's going to be consequences for your actions, and you need to start facing them. And it was like what a concept. What a concept. That is gracious. So after that, I've been helping people ever since then with getting their emotions in check, because it's just it's being a slave to your emotions.
Yeah.
100%.
I read something or heard something not too long ago that whenever something comes into our life or something happens to us, we have two reactions. The first one is outside of our control, but the second one is within our control.
Yeah.
So you just take the first one, kind of let it go, evaluate it a little bit, but then the second one, you can actually decide how you're going to feel about it. The first one's instinct. The second one is your mind. So the stronger you can get your reaction to things, or get that under control and reframe the things that are coming into your life, the more control that you'll have. So I don't know. I loved that, because it empowers you. Like, I'm sure when that psychologist said, no, you don't need medication, you just need to work on how you're framing things and not going from 0 to 100, that's empowering, versus someone saying, sorry, girl, it's outside of your control, you have to do meds.
Yeah.
It's a completely different mindset.
That's a really good point.
And what's interesting is because I feel like my mind is on a whole other, like, I have my emotions in check. A lot of it comes from my faith, but honestly, too, because there's people that are Christians or there's people in religion right now that are still battling with depression, anxiety, all of these things. So I'm like, well, clearly we're missing a component, and there is a science component to all of this. So I was studying on hormonal imbalance, all this stuff that the church doesn't teach any of these people. In fact, they put donuts and all this crap in front of you while you're going to go to Bible study. You're eating the very thing that's like destroying your mind. And one thing I thought about was, like, you guys know the movie Milan, obviously, right? But how she was like, I'm not quitting. Like, I'm going to fight. And I realized we are a bunch of, like, especially with what you're seeing right here, is like, I can't do it. Or, like, you know, there was a black man that was, like, going viral right now that he was like, I'm emasculated every day and I'm oppressed and like and it's like, why are you guys talking like this about yourself?
Why are you telling yourself that story?
Why aren't you saying that I'm a fighter? Like, I'm not going to be in chains. I'm not going to be oppressed. I'm not going to be these things. And that's what shifts the mentality to where, you know, when I went into fight mode, and I also seen like men that go to the military, I mean, they go through the training and the boot camp. We haven't done that.
Yeah, they come out different people.
Yes, they come out different people. But you need to have a boot camp on your mind. They're able to get to a point where someone screamed at them and called them a loser, and yet you have to toughen up. And I was like, I've never like been tough enough, especially as a woman. Like, I have a dad that's soft with me, you know, and everything like that. So it's like, even for women, we're not going to this boot camp of like, get your emotions in check. Not everything's soft. Not everything's cushiony. So that's me on a tangent with
I love that.
Get your guys' perspective.
Yeah, our daughters are jiu-jitsu champions.
Like, I love it.
Yeah, because we throw them like, it's like, I had my oldest is much more advanced than my younger two, but she's also much older. But the younger two, we were throwing them into competition way before they had any chance of winning. They were going to get crushed. I knew they were going to get worked. But it was like,
it was on purpose though.
Yeah, it was on purpose. It's like, they're not doing jiu-jitsu to win. Like, they're doing jiu-jitsu to learn to control their emotions under unbelievable pressure.
Physical and emotional.
Like, in a tournament, you know, like, you are going 100%. The kids are going. We saw a girl in the last tournament who took another girl's arm and broke it in half. Like her elbow, like this entire part of her arm was hanging. Like, this was not connected to this part of her arm. It was a horrific injury. That's the worst one I've ever seen.
That's really bad.
But like, you know, like, that was actually the last tournament. They've been doing it for years, and it's like, that's very unlikely something like that would happen. But nonetheless, it's like, there's someone on top of you that is smashing you, trying to choke you or armbar you, and like, you need to stay calm. And the other thing is, we're like, as long as you fight hard and you don't cry if you lose, then you win with us.
Unless you're hurt, you can cry if you're hurt.
If they're hurt. But like, hurt cry is very different.
Yeah.
But like, it's going to be disappointing if you lose. You need to keep your emotions under control. And like, our kids never cry when they lose. Never. Half the kids, these are tough little kids, man.
There's a lot of tears.
A lot of crying. And our kids never cry. And it's like, that's what it's actually about. It's like, throw them into the fire. Like, my job is not to like, you know.
While you're there, though, you know, like, that's what's so great about it, doing it while they're children. Like, we're there to supervise and catch them and correct them if we need to. But putting them in those situations early, so that the first time that they're thrown to the fire isn't when they're 21 and they're out of the house and mom and dad aren't there to help them get control of their emotions and understand it. Yeah.
I love that parenting. I almost was like saying, I feel like God might give me sons, because I would love, you know, a son, because I'm definitely going to raise him to, like, if you fall, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, because I'm around women who are mothers and they're just so
helicopter parents.
They're helicopter parents. Like, God forbid your child falls with me, around me, and they're like, you let him fall. They need to fall.
Oh, we clap.
They need to feel the ground. And so I follow a couple of people that they teach. They have sons, and their sons are like jumping from rock across the river to rock, and they had to learn, like, you need to trust your instincts, one, but also I can't protect you from danger. In fact, in order for you to be great, you got to be able to face sometimes danger and know that sometimes I might fall in it, but sometimes I might succeed, so go and jump the leap. And I love that parenting style.
I always called it controlled danger. We had, our middle child is wild.
Oh,
wild,
really?
and has been wild since she learned how to walk at 9 months of age.
Yeah.
Like, she was like an infant walking. It was terrifying. But she would try to do things like that. She would scale the counters. She would jump off random things. She would try to go head first down the stairs. So I had to come up with a way for her to experience consequences without getting truly hurt. So I would joke, like, I would let her fall down like 3 stairs. I wouldn't let her fall down the staircase, but I would let her fall down enough stairs that she would be like, oh, that's what happens when you do that, you know, because she wasn't listening to me saying, no, you're going to get hurt. No, you're going to fall. Like, she needed to fall. And so I wanted to let her have the lesson in a controlled way. So I always said, like, my parenting style with her as a little child was controlled danger, like letting her experience it, but safely.
She's a tough kid, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah, she's real tough.
In a couple jiu-jitsu tournaments ago, she was, so like I said, she's not as advanced. Like, my oldest daughter is there, like, she can beat anybody if she fights. She's incredible. And my middle, this one, has been doing it much less time. But she got to the finals of this tournament, and like, jiu-jitsu is one of those things like people like box, you know. Do you know what jiu-jitsu is?
Yeah, because I was looking up because I like the Milan stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, if people like kickbox, there is a world where, like, a kickboxer who is vastly inferior than their opponent could win. Like, if they just land a crazy kick or a punch, like, they could knock the other person out. In jiu-jitsu, if someone is like significantly more advanced, they're not going to lose. Like, they're just not going to lose. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. And my coach came up to me. He's like, Genevieve has a really tough fight in the final, and I already knew it. That means she has no chance against this girl. So she goes in and and this girl was much better than her, and she took her back, and she took her gi and was strangling her with the gi, like, across her face, which hurts really bad. And she wouldn't tap out, and even, like, we were yelling like, it's okay to tap, like, it's okay. And the ref, they stop it with kids if they get an extended arm because they protect them from, like, breaking their arms. But I've never ever seen a ref, like, make them stop when one of the kids didn't tap to a choke. And that's the only time I've ever seen him do it. And she got up and her eyes were all red and she was like, she, like, looked like she was having a panic attack. And she's, like, trying to, like, hold it together. And after the fight, she came walking out. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you don't need to, like, first of all, you can cry when that happens. And I'm like, you don't, you can tap out. And she's like, no, she was about to give up. I was like,
she's about to reverse it here.
And that's why you're like that too.
That's
like,
that one.
I was like, damn.
I love that.
She was going to give up. She was going to let go. I was like,
I feel like she wasn't.
No, she wasn't. But, like, I could respect that, dude. Like, she's
she's
literally having a panic attack, and she's still in her mind. She's like, I can withstand this longer. She's going to burn out. I'll wait. She's 9.
She's so tough.
Wow. I
So tough.
love that mentality, though.
Yeah.
That's, like, the mentality you need to kind of break out of the personality disorder. Like, it depends on how deep you're in it, right?
Sure.
Because there's 9 symptoms, and you have to have 5 in order to be diagnosed with that stuff. But I had 8
Oh, wow.
of the 9. And so the only one I didn't have was, like, trying to kill myself. But when your emotions are under that intense, you know, you want to die because you don't know how to fix this. You're feeling it actually is like a giant cramp whenever you're having kind of like an episode. And I remember it was really tough. And so from the symptoms that I had, it looks like it's not like I can't win it. But I was like, but I don't have 9.
Yeah.
I have 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I can
Yes.
just
That's a
work
victory.
backwards here.
Exactly.
And so I love that mentality because that's the mentality you need. Like, you can't bend over to the defeat. I'm very fascinated in who she'll grow up to be.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, we all
Very
are.
fascinated.
Yeah.
She is not going to let anybody have the
And
last.
she is crazy smart. Like, super, super smart. They put her in the talented and gifted program. Usually that's something that parents, like, apply for and they get their kids tested. I got a call one day from the teachers. They're like, oh, just so you know, we're taking Jen to tag. I was like, wait, why? They're like, oh, she needs it. We're moving her up. She needs more challenge in her life.
Wow.
And, yeah,
she
so
needs more challenge.
She's the least naturally socially confident out of the other two. Like, my youngest is going to honestly, she could do whatever she wants. I think she's going to target an incredibly wealthy dude and marry him. Like, just because she's going to be like, oh, I like that
That's
idea.
easy.
He's cute. Yeah, like, she'll be like, he's cute. And I like his personality. And I definitely like the idea of not having
Doing
to do
nothing
anything that I
forever.
have to.
She's
And
such a
she's
baby.
so smart. Like, she's so smart. Like, when she was
She's
a
people
baby.
smart.
Yeah.
She's people smart.
People smart. When she was a baby, she would look up, and if you were talking, she's like, this is like, I'm talking like a marshmallow brain baby. And she'd look and she would be trying to like mouth, like, cause she's like, what are they doing? Why are they like,
why are their mouths
talking?
moving?
All she did, she's just laser focused on people her entire life. She gets people dialed instantly. Like if someone comes in with bad energy, she's just like, she knows, and she butters everybody up. She gets whatever she wants from people. And I mean, we have to punk her because of that. Cause like it's so easy for her to kind of manipulate people.
She works people.
And then my oldest is like, she is the most relentless person chasing the things that she wants that I have no concern for her. Like she'll get what she wants. You know, like she'll earn it though. Like she'll work for it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, they're all so different, but they're great kids.
Yeah.
What advice? Because I'm like around like all three of my sister and then my two best friends. They all have children at the same age. They're all like a year and a half. My niece is a year. They all have daughters. So like, what advice do you have for those that are raising girls?
Put them in jiu-jitsu.
Put them in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
And make them go a lot. Like not just like they go once or twice. Like make them go 4 days a week. Like make that their sport when they're young.
Like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So for me, I kind of let him just run with that. Like, okay, sure, that's your thing. You want to put him in jiu-jitsu, awesome. But the more I learned about it, the community, having little girls around, like all the coaches are these big, masculine, tough dudes.
Savages.
Who, if you're in a traditional kind of jiu-jitsu place, they're Brazilian. They're like sweet teddy bears underneath. They love our kids. They pick them up. They parade them around. They're so sweet with them. But having your little girls around that strength of male energy at that age, kind of like we were talking about. Like I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't have that. So I'm like, as much of that as I can give to my daughters that's what I want for them. So that when they grow up and look for a man, they know that that's a man, not the opposite energy. But that little piece aside, it's also good for your girls to know how to fight from their back and not to like go down a crazy, like dark worst case scenario hole. But I know if my daughters ever find themselves on their back and they don't want to be there, they know how to not just get out of there. They know how to hurt someone. They know how to reverse that. And as a mom of 3 daughters, that is such a great feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the methodology of jiu-jitsu, just for people who don't know anything about it, is like there's Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is it's grappling. Like it's basically, you know, like kind of like wrestling, and then you have submissions that you either choke them unconscious or you break their like limbs. But Brazilian jiu-jitsu was like evolved from Japanese jiu-jitsu, and Elio Gracie, who did it, has muscular dystrophy, and so the entire methodology of the martial art is for a much smaller, weaker, slower opponent to be able to defeat a tremendously stronger, faster opponent. And it's all about isolating limbs. So it's leverage. It's like, look, like, you know, if there's some guy who's 300 pounds and if I run straight at him and we bash into each other, probably not going to be very good. But if I use technique to isolate his leg and I have his ankle, I'll break his ankle, and then what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, and so when girls are on their back, well, actually, I'm sorry, if anybody in jiu-jitsu is on their back and their legs are, closed around the opponent, a person who doesn't know anything about jiu-jitsu is like, oh, I must be winning. You're like, you are one movement from this person breaking your arm. Like they just, because, that's why people who are untrained, they have no chance. It's like literally no chance. It's like, they have their arm this place because why would you not? It's like you can't have your arm there. Like they're going to break your arm for sure. And a girl on her back with an opponent between their legs is in a very dangerous position where like a very, very big dude is not, I mean, you might think that she's way weaker than you, but she's a lot stronger than your arm. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. And also learning how to fight and defend themselves too, which
and be in close proximity to other people, not freak out. Like learn how to maintain composure and get out of the situation. It's just, there's so many good things about it. And I was someone who had no clue going into it, like literally no clue. But as the years have gone by, I am so grateful that he pushed to put all of them in there. It's been amazing.
The reason my oldest is so much more advanced is because during COVID, there was nothing going on, and
so we were in California at the time.
California too.
Yeah. Where were you at?
Anaheim.
Okay, we were in the Bay Area.
Yeah, we were in Walnut Creek.
Born there. Walnut Creek? I was born in Walnut Creek.
Really?
Oh, really?
Stop
John
it.
Muir?
Huh?
John Muir?
John Muir Hospital. It's like the big hospital there.
Probably.
Our first 2 were born there. How funny. What a small world.
And then I grew up in Sacramento.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I went to Chico State.
Really?
What a small world.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but they she wasn't going to school. She's doing like, virtual classes, and we found there was actually was in a jiu-jitsu academy that I was aware of, and they were open, and so
they just boarded up the windows.
They boarded the windows every single day. So her first year of jiu-jitsu, she was training 2 hours a day, 6 days a week for the entire year. And it's like that's like, if people bring their kid to jiu-jitsu 2 days a week for 10 years, they still will get their ass kicked by a kid who did 2 hours a day, 6 days a week for 1 year, because it's just the only thing in your brain. And the techniques build on top of each other. So she got so good. And then, then we moved to Texas, and she's like, we put her in a tournament, and she won the tournament, right? Like she won, I think she got silver in the first tournament, but she won a bunch of fights, and then she lost on a super close decision. But yeah, then it was like, and I remember that was the moment where I just looked over at her, and she was like, okay, now I get it. Like,
like why this is such
she's like, she hadn't really even watched her practice. Like she hadn't gone to see her train. Like she's just so I'm like, you don't understand how good she is, dude. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can tell you're really proud and everything, and I love that. Definitely want to probably get my when it's my turn, then I'm gonna take that up, because I want them to be really tough, especially in a world like this.
Exactly.
And I just kind of love how when you guys kind of started talking about it, it's also teaching them to get their emotions in check and to be able to handle losing, but like not crying and not breaking down and not facing your emotions and facing that loss. And I really like that. So I kind of wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about marriage. I mean, you guys are a married couple here. I might as well get your guys' insight on marriage. You guys, I can kind of read that you guys' personalities are a little bit different. And so how do you guys, like, I noticed that some of the best marriages that I've worked with, one person leans more on maybe anxious or personality A. The other one's personality C. Like in my marriage, that's how it works too. I'm more of the A, I calmed down a lot though, but I was much more go-getter, had ADHD for sure, a million thoughts, and then he's like OCD and just like more of the cleaner, more of the stay out the light and stuff like that. But usually those are the best, because you guys are coming in and bringing something to the table that the other person doesn't have. But I kind of am so curious about how your guys' like marriage, works, and has there been points in time where you guys were struggling with something, and how did you guys kind of defeat that?
Do you want to start?
You go for it.
Okay. So my background is also in traditional Chinese medicine. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist. So the way that I always talk about us is yin and yang. He's like the yang, like the bright out there energy, and I'm more the yin, which is typically the male and female energies. Anyways, I could go on with that forever, but we have what I would say, like, the biggest thing that we say to people with marriage is that it has to be easy, and for us it's always been easy.
Super easy.
That's been the biggest thing, and that doesn't mean that there wasn't conflict or there wasn't times of strife. We've been through a fair share of it, but we've both been kind of, I think, acutely aware of what's important to the other one, and like, is this really my time to stand up and pick a fight over this, or are they exhibiting that they're so strong feeling about this that I should just kind of sit back and let them do what they need to do or want to do in the situation? And that's been a really big thing. Like, I put my foot down, not about a lot of things, but he knows, like, when I do, I am dead freaking serious. And if you try to challenge me in that, it's not going to go well. And
I don't.
And the same thing goes for him. Exactly.
Yeah, we've been together for almost 18 years. And like, we've been together her entire adult life, and like, fights, like, it's like, well, tell us about when you fight. I'd be like, okay, well, there was one time, like, the first fight, she was blacked out drunk and I was going to sleep. Like, I still make fun of her about that, because like, she was 20. Yeah, this is like when we'd only been together for like 6 months, and we were at a house, and I was exhausted, tired, and she was drunk, and it was all my best friends from college and their wives.
I didn't know any of them. It was the first time I was hanging out with them.
I couldn't stay awake. I was so tired, and she's like, "Are you going to sleep?" So she came into the bedroom, and I was just asleep, and I'd wake up, and she's like throwing clothes around the room, and I was like, what's going on? And then I fell back asleep, and the next time I woke up, she was sitting in bed next to me, and she's like, this is our first fight.
Sounds like I wasn't even here for it.
It's our first fight. I was like, a first fight. I was asleep.
I love that.
Yeah, like we just.
She was so serious.
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Yeah, it's our first fight. Yeah, we just don't fight. Like we've never fought, and but like it's because again the relationships always felt effortless. Like and to that end where we just don't push each other. If it's that important, like if it's that important, then like neither of us we'd rather just go, okay, it's that important, like it's not worth the fight. I hate fighting. The thing is too, in all of our previous relationships, I fought with all my ex-girlfriends and she fought with all her ex-boyfriends and we just don't fight. Like it's like, so
that's good.
We now know that it was always their fault.
They were all the problem.
They were the problem, dude.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I think one thing I kind of got from it's really big, and I've been trying to help a lot of people, also learning in my own life, is kind of like letting basically people kind of go through whatever they need to go through, because I think a big problem in a relationship is trying to control another person's thought process, control how they're going to react, control them choosing you in this moment. I think a really big thing that even I've had to learn how to conquer through is like they are their own mind, they're their own person, they're going to go through their own challenges, and they're also going to like maybe have opinions strongly about something one day, and then maybe in a year they'll change. And so even when I'm working with couples, the majority of the time they're like, no, like they can't think like this, or they can't be this way, or this affects me. And it's like, you need to be so solid in your identity and knowing who you are, that what they're doing and what they got going on doesn't have to reflect how you're going to see yourself. And that's also linked to a personality disorder. So like, when you're a healthy individual and probably don't have personality disorder, it's much easier to be like, that's fine, that's what you think. But personality disorders, they don't have their own identity. So, like, their identity comes from their partner saying, you love me, you want to be with me, all these things. And so if they're not feeling that, or their person doesn't even like them today because they don't, they're like, you got on my nerves, then they hate themselves. Yeah. And then they're trying to force their partner to see them in a good light. It's just a mess. It's like, y'all know, because I talk to y'all about this. But I kind of like that. It's always kind of been, it's fine. That's what you're strong about. Cool. Mm-hmm. That's very easy going. You guys seem healthy, though. Like, just seem. So.
It's good.
That's
good. I like, too, that you guys are you guys have differences, yin and yang. Or I think you said it
I say yang because I was raised in traditional Chinese medicine school by a ton of Chinese teachers who were like, it's not yang, it's yang. So, old habits die hard.
Oh, okay. I like that, though. But I'm curious then if you guys are a little bit differently, like what have you learned about yourself being with him and vice versa? What have you learned about yourself being with her?
Oh, what have I learned about myself? Well, to your point what you were talking about earlier, having fathers, not having fathers, the first 8 years of my life, it was just me and my mom. She was a flight attendant. She was gone 3 days a week, home 4. So I kind of like bounced around to different families, but it was just her and I, only child, single mom. She married when I was 8. He passed when I was 13. He was incredible. But those 5 years were the only years that I had a dad in my life. Aside from, there's a lot going on here. I was very fortunate to stay with a lot of families who had really wonderful father figures. So I kind of was raised by a village, and I did have a few in my life that were amazing. And like I call them dad still to this day. But I had never I didn't grow up in a home that had a healthy marriage, as an example. Mm-hmm. So I had no real clue what I was doing, what it was supposed to look like. And now I look back and think that's to my advantage because I was able to kind of make my own idea of what it looks like, and I wasn't trying to emulate something that I had seen. But it was all a learning. Like my mom jokes, she's like, you've been married longer than I ever have. And she'll even make little asides by a long shot, but she'll make like little asides like what things that would bother her but don't bother me. I'm like, yeah, that's why we've been married for almost 17 years and it's great, Oh,
right.
Like she'll make 17. Little
married almost 17 years.
Yeah, married almost 17. But so I guess I just learned everything about myself. I also met him when I was 21. I had freshly graduated college. I didn't know anything really about the real world. I mean, I grew up in my entire adult life with him, so he's been there through the entire discovery of who I am. And I read or I saw this quote. What's the doctor who we love that has the podcast and he introduced Delany.
Oh,
Delany?
Man.
I don't know.
He's a guy. He has people call in.
Oh, is he?
He looks like he'd be friends with me.
Oh, I think
He's
I know.
great.
He has people call in and
Yeah.
he goes viral all the
He's
time.
wonderful. I love
Yeah.
his show, and
Okay.
I'm so sorry that I'm butchering and forgetting his name right now.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
he
it.
said he had this quote that said, if you're lucky in your life, you'll have, or sorry, throughout your life you'll have 5 major loves, and if you're lucky, they will all be with the same person, because we grow and evolve through our life, and if you're lucky, you grow and evolve with the person, and you love them at all these different stages, and I think that's how our marriage has been, because this is not the man that I met when I was 21, and it's just been this evolution where we have evolved together, like on the same path together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that. What advice do you have for those that are struggling a little bit more in it being easy?
You
Oh,
want to
man.
take that one?
I don't- like it's so well, what I could say makes it easy is like if you can take for granted that your partner loves you, is not going to cheat on you, and means well. And you literally, like, I mean, when I say take for granted, like, you know those things. You don't need it.
You know
like,
that's true.
You know
Yeah.
those things are true. Then everything becomes pretty easy, you know. And it's like, but with her, it's hard to even explain. It was like, I knew what she was thinking all the time. I know what a lot of people are thinking a lot of the time, but I knew exactly what she was thinking and feeling all the time. Like, there was nothing that would come in her head that I didn't know. And, you know, like I was a train wreck back then. Like when we first met, you know, like I was in my mid-20s and I was drinking, but like I've always been good at kind of like evaluating people and understanding them. And with her, I was like, okay, I just always understood her. And so it was just kind of like, this is a person that if you try to push them, she's just going to. And so it was like, so I would push her, you know, and then like
Just
push her.
gentle.
Then like push her.
Gentle push.
And like, and push. And then like, and push. And push. And push. And it's like, yeah. And then over,
It's
know,
true.
many years, it's like, yeah, she's completely different than she was when we first met too.
100%.
But like, yeah. If you just need to understand the person that you're with. It's like, people are so
them.
worried about, I don't know. I mean, I don't really remember exactly. I feel like jealousy is a huge thing, at least, but that's, you know, a million years ago when I was dealing with other people. But like, yeah, people worry about, am I getting this? Am I getting that? Am I getting this? And it's like, well, what's going on over there, dude? Like, what do you know about this person? And what do you think is important to them? Because if you understand what's important to them and you can give them that, then everything gets easy.
Yeah. I like how you're kind of saying what you did is study your partner. That's the best thing you can possibly do, because when you're I think it's just the level of narcissism, you know,
Yeah.
in relationships that people get to, where the relationship is for them instead of who
Serving
am I
their
with?
partner.
Yeah, serving your partner. Like, who am I with? And I like how you said, okay, if I push too hard, it goes there. So just a little baby
Gentle
pushes.
nudges.
But that's studying your partner and seeing what she needs. And so what I see I like that we're talking about this, because what I see when I'm talking to people, it's someone that's like, no, I'm going to keep pushing this way, because that's what
I do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And it feels good to me. So you're evolving and kind of learning about yourself, of like what you need to do and be as a partner to this person today. So I love that. So with the arguing with your guys' past partners, do you think at all maybe that they were pushing too hard
Oh, girl.
consistently? Like, that's why it
I
wasn't
don't
working?
know. Well,
It's all
he
jealousy.
mentioned jealousy.
It's all
yeah.
jealous stuff with my girls. But I went to Chico State, where they were definitely correct to be jealous.
And
I
UC Santa
was
Barbara wasn't
definitely-
much
and I was-
better.
and I was correct to be jealous as well. Like, it's like the fact that you're even pretending to be kind of like, oh yeah, you know, this is my girlfriend, except
now.
on Friday and Saturday. You know, it's just
Yeah.
so dumb. Like, it's just like, it's the only. I mean, she's only. Well, I guess
You lived with, what's her
yeah,
face?
but that's like a thing that was. She's the only real relationship that I guess I like. My high school relationship was kind of like that, but I don't know. It's like,
We're like,
There's the ADD brain.
yeah. Again, with her, the day that I met her, I was like, I'll marry that girl. Literally, I knew the day I met her, and so I don't know. I don't know if that is something that happens for other people. So like, Because it certainly was never the case with any of the other girls that I like hung out with. You know what I mean?
So, okay, I'm going to keep going because I have just some more questions.
Fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm like, got it relaxed. Okay.
Yeah.
So, obviously, a very controversial, like, topic is on feminism.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's interesting because when I first started talking about it, the podcast studio is out in Vegas that I was working with, the guy said, "You're a real feminist." I was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" Because I was talking against feminism. He's like, "No, because you're actually realizing that feminism is like tainted and it's not there to help women at all.
Agreed.
You actually want to help women."
Yeah.
And because I was sitting there, you know, I started this podcast like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and already had certain ideas and stuff like that, but like I was studying stuff really more for the first time. I had been studying stuff, and so I was like, the women that are doing this like sexual revolution and stuff, like, how does that help us at all? And then I was just thinking too that actually it's harming women, if anything, because I was looking up how these narcissistic men or just sociopathic men, because I've actually learned that we all have a level of narcissism.
Sure.
There can be good narcissism. It can make you a CEO. It can make you a boss. It can put you ahead of people. But there's like a bad where it's you guys know the story of the man that was like looking at himself in the
Narcissus. Yeah.
that Narcissus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was just reading a book about it. But
I love Greek myth.
it's the opposite of like
Yeah.
the confidence. It's like he keeps having to. I do like Greek myth.
Yeah.
He's constantly looking at himself in the mirror because he's like obsessed
It's an
with
obsession. Mm-hmm.
needing to feel good about
Mhm.
himself. So, but anyways, my thing is that these men that are sociopathic, that typically, if we went back in the day, men had to
Would
like
be-
get approval from the father.
They'd be weeded out. Yeah.
They would weed them out.
Yep.
The crazies.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have this new culture where women just go into this hookup culture and do this stuff, it brings in the sociopathic men. It brings them in, and you never have to bring them home to the father
Yep.
and get approval. You never had to do that. And so it puts women at risk, and that's why they're having all these issues and all these terrible experiences with men. But they're putting themselves right in the place to be. So I realize it's not helping women, and I was fighting against it for that reason. But what are your guys'... I just had to go on a tangent. What are your guys' thoughts on feminism today?
I mean, I agree with everything that you said, and I think it goes even further, too, like, because they said, you know, feminism is equality in the workplace and allowing women to, you know, go do all the same jobs as guys and get the full-time jobs and do all that, and that's what I was raised in. That's the culture that I was raised in. I got a double bachelor's in psych and communication, and then went back and got a 4-year master's degree in Chinese medicine. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go start my own clinic, my own practice, do all these things. I'm going to have this amazing career. It's going to be great. And I'm telling you, the second that I held Giselle in my arms, I was like, what the heck am I doing? I don't want to be away from her. I want to be in the home. I want to be with her. I want to raise her. And we were told for so many years, like, that's oppressive. And that's, and I just now, I think it's the absolute craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, what's oppressive about raising your children? And so, I don't know, I think they're two sides of the same coin. Because, yes, like, the hookup culture is crazy. It's dangerous. It's bad. It's not liberating. It's not bringing any sort of confidence to you. It's exactly the opposite. It's degrading. It's you're telling people and yourself how little worth you have, you know, your body, your mind, your heart, whatever, all of it. And so I'm with you. I think traditional feminism is realizing the true difference between men and women, and like understanding the true worth of a woman and what they bring to the world. And it's so different than what men bring, and that's why it works. That's why we have the two genders. That's why we coexist together.
Yeah. So go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say on the I don't know that myth, but you know the Narcissus or whatever, looking at like that is it's like a perfect metaphor that I always talk about, that where it's like the difference between confidence and ego. It's like ego is what fills the void from a lack of confidence, and they think that they're confident, but they're not. Like if you were confident, you wouldn't feel good about like pulling up in a Ferrari with a bunch of people who are eating Taco Bell, making them feel bad about themselves that they're broke. Like why would you feel better by making other people feel bad if you're confident? That's ego, and that's the lack of confidence, and that's exactly what you guys are describing. And those guys, they want hot, you know, women because it's exactly the same as pulling up in a Ferrari. It's like hot girl, walk next to hot girl, people are jealous that, you know, whatever. And it's like, okay, well, what about the girl, dude? You know what I mean? Like, what about the
Just a
girl?
tool.
Like, she's literally just like a prop. And then girls who didn't have strong father figures and don't know how to model what they're looking for after a strong father that loved them when they were growing up. Because like if they like our daughters, there's no fucking sorry. There's no way that they're ever gonna date a person like that because they grew up with me and with me how I am with them and with her. So that's what they're going to expect from their guy. And so there's no world where some guy's going to pull up on a motorcycle and like, and they're going to be all, oh my God, and he treats them bad. And they're all, oh yeah, I'll just stay with this guy. Like that would just never happen. Mm-hmm. But girls who had rough upbringings and don't know what to model their, like what they're looking for after, they get sucked because to your point, did you read the book, The Sociopath Next Door? Is that where you pulled that from?
No.
Okay. So I read that book, Sociopath Next Door.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of stuff about how, actually, you know what? There's an even better example is what Jordan Peterson talked about, how sociopathic and psychopathic men mimic strong, confident men, and women who don't have a good example for what an actual confident person is, they get tricked by those guys.
Yeah.
And then that's how they end up in those incredibly destructive kind of, you know,
Like toxic relationships
where they are a thing, you know,
Yeah.
where like the second they're gone, they'll just get replaced by another similar looking thing. And yeah, I mean, the whole idea of it being empowering for like empowering for a girl to, you know, oh yeah, you know, I hook up with all these guys on Tinder and I talk about it on podcasts, and that's empowering for the girl. You're like, what movie is this? Like I realized like we got married before before online dating really happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know what like kind of voodoo got pulled on girls that they think that's empowering, but I guess it benefits all the dudes, or maybe they're scumbags.
It really does. And you know, it's hookup culture is linked, they link it to the personality disorders. It develops personality disorders and stuff.
They develop the personality disorders from it, or you're saying like people with personality disorders end up in it?
They develop personality disorders from hookup culture.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like that, the higher the body count, which I know is like, you know, people hate hearing about that because they, you know, red pill will use that, like if you have a high body count, you know, all this other stuff. But it's like but there's truth to it in the realm of psychology. Like they develop identity issues, like really bad.
You're talking about the women or the dudes also?
The women.
Oh yeah, the women. I was gonna say. For
it's
women.
Like I don't
for sure.
find that to be true for the men.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Not for the men.
Yeah. No, but for the girls for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then it puts you to also start thinking about. I started thinking about how women, we're supposed to be way more careful with who we're laying down with. If anything, you should be waiting till marriage because you're the one that's putting your body at risk to get pregnant. And so your primal instinct should be, I'm not going to sleep with someone unless I'm okay with getting pregnant
Exactly.
with them. So I should be with someone that's going to be full committed to me.
Correct.
So if you keep putting yourself in a state of that, and you probably have had multiple abortions and everything, you're losing a sense of your primal instincts completely.
Yeah.
You're morphing into this just like, I don't know.
Shell of a human.
Yeah, shell of a human. Like what are you now?
Yeah.
Because you as a woman, we're talking about who you are as a woman, one of the things that make you a woman is being very careful who you're laying down with, because you know that that's something your body does, is create human life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're not laying down with the man that's going to provide and take care of and cover that, and they're just like worthless human beings, not to be rude, but
No.
you know, some of these men are not. What are they doing, and how are they going to contribute to your life? That's a huge problem. So my platform, I hold women responsible and accountable for those things too. So
I love that.
yeah.
And then keep in mind too, though, the dudes are hardwired to get 15 women pregnant per week.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah,
when you are in a relationship, it's like, listen, like monogamy is awesome, but like just keep in mind, this dude is wired to have sex with everything, and he loves you, so he's not going to. But like, just, you know, make sure that you're good in that department. Otherwise, he's gonna start like, you know.
Oh, that's so real. I talk about cheating. That's very controversial. I talk about it, that it's like men are just wired differently. I want to go into it more into depth, but sometimes it's a two-way street. And I talk about it, if you got that man from hookup culture,
Yeah.
you hooked up with him and he was in hookup culture to hook up with,
Can't
and
be
then you're
surprised.
shocked that
Yeah.
he's cheating and he struggles with
Oh, yeah.
lust, he
For
struggles
sure.
with, come on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
didn't get him from the typical way of him having to
Court
Oh.
you and yeah.
So you didn't even practice that. Monogamy is a skill for men. It's a skill. For women, it's primal. It should be primal.
Yes.
Goodness gracious, it should be.
That's
I
a
don't know how
great way
us
to say
women
that.
are anymore, but for men, it's a skill that they have to build. So, and I like how you said it's great, but it's not how they are wired.
Well,
Yeah. So
and it's like the girl has to give him a reason to like go against their biological wiring. You know, it's like,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. Well, I've appreciated you guys on. Is there anything last for my viewers that are watching? And I know I'll, collaborate with you guys and stuff on the post, but is there anything my specific audience can learn from your page, and like what can they be excited for the future with your guys' content?
I mean, if you like listening to us talk, we do a lot of that on Play with Matches. Is if you search Play with Matches, Jessie on Fire, you'll find the YouTube page. That's where most of our stuff is, and then Instagram also, and then mine's Jessie on Fire. Actually, I guess Instagram's Real Jessie on Fire, and so is X, and then YouTube Jessie on Fire.
Complicated.
Yeah, and then Gabrielle has a lot of. We kind of downplayed her social media presence, which is very large,
That's
also.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yours
I'm
is
cool with
large?
that. I'm cool with that. I do. I have a whole other page surrounding like hormones and cortisol and stuff on Instagram.
Cortisol is big with BPD too. You
Yeah.
have to get your cortisol levels. There's so many more things I could have talked about then, because it's with BPD and personality disorders, with how it links to hormonal imbalances.
Yep.
But I love that. So then that's good for you guys to go see her page, that like my page, for that stuff, because that's necessary, needed women for us to get that in check. Well, I've appreciated you guys so much. I've had so much fun talking to you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
and
you.
all the information will be linked down below, you guys. So I'll see you guys next time.